1951, the production of Landcruiser began. It was produced in convertible, hot top, station wagon, and cab chassis body styles. So the Landcruiser's parameters like reliability and longevity have led to huge popularity, especially in Australian region, where it is the best body-on-frame 4x4 vehicle available in that country. Also, Toyota actually tests the Landcruiser in the Australian outback since it is considered one of the toughest operating environments in both temperature and terrain. As the legends said, if you want to go off-road, take a Land Rover, and if you want to come back, take a Landcruiser. That shows the reliability and toughest operability of Toyota Landcruiser. As the name struck, the rest, as the legends told, is history. It is considered one of the finest 4x4 vehicle available in the entire world right now. So ladies and gentlemen, presenting you the Toyota Landcruiser history in this entire video. So do watch and share your support. Landcruiser, it's a powerful name. It's a name that has a lot of history and the legendary trademark, reliability and toughest operating 4x4 vehicle in the world. And most importantly, it is Toyota's flagship SUV and it's available in India for the past 12 years. So here's the catch. Landcruiser usually costs about 1 crore, most probably 1.7 crores. So what makes it so special and plonking a hell lot of money on this vehicle? So we'll see about this vehicle in this video. What do you get for 1.7 crores? Well, for starters, it gets a full-time 4-wheel drive. Then what makes this Landcruiser stand apart from a bunch of other pseudo SUVs? Well, it got a diff lock, it got a rear torsion LSD, which is limited slip differential, and it got a ladder frame chassis. And as any serious off-road enthusiast you know about, ladder frame chassis is the real deal. What Toyota has done with this vehicle is, it has provided the KDSS suspension system, which is kinetic dynamic suspension system, which consists of inbuilt front and rear stabilizers, which incorporates two-way hydraulic piping technology. What this does is, it maintains even torque curve depending upon the on or off-road situations, and it actually improves the off-road compatibility of the Landcruiser, especially in serious off-road conditions, and that gives it a major vehicle advantage as compared to its other off-road vehicles. This kinetic dynamic suspension system also reduces the body roll of the Landcruiser to a certain extent, and Landcruiser being a ladder on frame chassis vehicle, it has lots and lots of body roll, and Toyota has incorporated this suspension system to reduce the body roll to a larger extent. In the above mentioned video, you can see the Landcruiser off-roading in tilting conditions, and you can see the approacher angle as well as the departure angle. KDSS actually improves the approacher angle and departure angle by 40%, and that combined with the big massive V8 engine can pull the Landcruiser out of any tricky conditions. You can see the wheel articulation in these muddy areas. How KDSS actually extends the suspension travel for the wheel that is into the big hole on extremely rough terrain, and that is the specialty of the dampers that is being used in kinetic dynamic suspension system. You can see the flexibility, right, between the left and the right wheel, especially in the articulation angles. There are hydraulic oil flow loops which are present in between the pipes which connects the front and rear cylinder. In this picture, you can see the cylinder is not locked. This allowed the articulation of the wheels in a specific manner in extreme off-road condition, that it can pull the vehicle out of that tricky situation easily without much response from the driver. In the upcoming video, the Landcruiser is in a slushy terrain which has ups and downs. So what happens is the one or the other wheel is in the air and the other two side wheels is in the ground. So the suspension extends the wheel as much as possible. In this, the wheel articulation increased 105 mm from current situation. So that gives the Landcruiser enough traction to come out of any tricky situation the driver focuses the SUV on. This big burly SUV is powered by a 4.5 liter V8 diesel engine. This engine puts out 286 bhp of max power. 286 bhp doesn't sound much for a 4.5 liter V8 engine. But here's the catch. This engine makes about 650 Newton meters of max torque, and every time you stamp on the gas pedal, it feels like someone has placed a 10-inch big massive boot on your butt. The acceleration is outrageous. 0 to 100 comes up in 11.95 seconds, and it tops out at 191 km per hour. That's an insane top speed, especially considering the weight of this big burly SUV, which weighs at about 2.7 ton in unladen weights. This was a 2008 model which was launched in India lately at 2009. So this Landcruiser had crawl control system as one of its unique feature that can actually pull out the SUV from any tricky situations. You have to just steer the SUV in the right direction, irrespective of the accelerator pedals. Landcruiser had a very conservative styling since its launch. So after 4 years, Toyota introduced a facelifted Landcruiser in 2013. So what this facelifted Landcruiser had was, it got a refreshed front fascia, including a redesigned projector headlights along with LED DRL, LED fog lights, LED tail lights, and also in the interior it included a new infotainment system. This infotainment system also incorporated 360-degree camera, which as in Toyota words we can say multi-terrain cameras. So these cameras were very useful in difficult terrain and narrow roads to drive this SUV as far as possible. During this facelift, Toyota also introduced the multi-terrain mode selector, especially similar to that of Prado. So what it got was mud and sand, loose rock, mogul, and auto mode. So this auto mode was extremely useful for navigating the Landcruiser in extremely difficult off-road conditions. During this facelift, the crawl control system of the Toyota Landcruiser also got upgraded to 5-speed. So there were individually 5 modes of crawl control, which also included 2 additional modes as compared to that of 2008 Landcruiser. So it actually made it very user-friendly in extreme off-road conditions, depending upon the terrain and condition the Landcruiser is. After this, Toyota also introduced a revolutionary feature of the Landcruiser, which includes the world's first car or SUV to have off-road turn assist. What it does is, in so much narrow conditions, the rear wheels got locked, and you can steer the car to the right direction easily. And it also reduces the turning radius of this massive SUV to a greater extent. That was extremely helpful for off-road enthusiasts who usually take these SUVs to very narrow road conditions and also serious off-road conditions. Soon Landcruiser became a favorite vehicle among politicians, film stars, and other professionals. So Landcruiser had become a success in India too, as similar to that of other Gulf countries. Back in 2016, Toyota also introduced another facelifted version of the Landcruiser. This was also under the LC200 series, but this is among the favorite designs of the LC200 series, since it got a bold and aggressive front end, dominating by 4 LED projector headlights along with LED fog lights and LED DRLs that also got sequential turn indicators. This had a dominant look and aggressive look as compared to its predecessors. So many film stars and politicians got upgraded their Landcruisers to this front fascia by removing the bumpers and adding the latest Landcruiser bumpers. So it was another instant success for Toyota. After this generation, Landcruiser soon got outdated by its rivals, especially Mercedes GLS and Audi's Q7. After this, Toyota introduced the latest generation of Landcruisers in the abroad countries, but unfortunately it didn't get launched in India. So the reason is Landcruiser currently commands a waiting period of nearly 4 years. So what is the problem with this thing is, Actually, we all are aware of the global chip shortage, right, for manufacturing cars. Due to this shortage of chips, the Land Cruiser waiting period have surpassed nearly 4 years, and that makes a huge disappointment among Land Cruiser fans. But this Land Cruiser is also an instant success, as it is a huge upgrade as compared to LC200, since it combines all luxury features and off-road features into a single vehicle. And there is also a change in its engine lineup. What Toyota did is it removed the V8 petrol engine from the previous generation Land Cruiser and introduced a new V6 engine. This is a 3.5 liter V6 engine that produces nearly 340 bhp of max power and 720 Newton meters of max torque, and that gives a significant bump up in power as compared to the previous generation of Land Cruiser, which is the LC200 series. And also Toyota had completely revamped the crawl control system and also all the off-road features of this car, and that along with its compact dimension give it a huge leap in the off-roading department. That sums up the history of Toyota Land Cruiser. So if you want to take a Land Cruiser off-road, just take it. It's extremely capable in even in harsh weather conditions and tough terrains. But before taking it off-road, seriously consider changing the tires into off-road specific tires. So it can boost the capability of Land Cruiser, especially in tough and tricky terrains, especially in sand and dry mud. So thank you guys. Take care. Thank you for all your love and support.